Okay, folks, we'll make another video. We'll make a couple, but we're going to go over this documentation. Oh, I hope that didn't go up on there, man, because that was a loud one. Boy, I've been having gas all day. I'm sorry, peeps. That's just human nature, you know. Okay, folks. Now that wow, can't even speak today. Now that the comicalness is out of the way, let me get on to this. Okay, this is about being pulled over and your right to travel versus commerce. And you have to understand the difference between the right to travel and commerce. Anything to do with a license, plates, stickers is interstate commerce. You are required to obtain a license if you are going to make money with your license or you are going to gain by way of public highway. Okay, so let me go through this now. This is just a quick motion that I wrote up, but it's got a lot of legal aspects of it that you can refer back to on this video for education purposes to that may help you out. I'm not giving you legal advice for disclaimer. It's education purposes only. Um, Okay, every statute put into place to aid in license requirement through DMV is for interstate commerce only. So it's getting hot in here, so let's take off the old yeah, I know, huh? Okay, so basically every statute put into place to aid in license requirements through DMV is for interstate commerce only. Period. Okay. The right to travel freely, unencumbered, and unfettered is a guaranteed as a right and not a mere privilege. This is the right to travel is such a basic right it does not even need to be mentioned, for it is self-evident by common sense that the right to travel is a basic concomitant of a free society to come and go from length and breathe freely, unencumbered and unfettered, distinguishing the characteristics required for a free people to exist. In fact, please see Shapiro versus Thompson, 349 U.S. 618. Further, the right to travel by private conveyance for private purposes upon the common way cannot be infringed. No license or permission is required for travel when such travel is not for the purpose of commercial profit or gain on an open highway operating under license and commerce. Profit or gain on an open highway operating under license and commerce. The above named common law citizen listen is not operated in commerce and as such is thereby exempt from the requirement of a license. As such, further, the state is forbidden, and it doesn't matter what state, the state is forbidden by law from converting a basic right into a privilege and requiring a license and a fee charged for the exercise of a basic right. Please see Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, 319 U.S. 105. And if Vermont state does erroneously convert basic rights into a privilege and requires a license or fee, a citizen may ignore the license or fee with total immunity for such of a basic right. Please see Shuttleworth versus Birmingham, Alabama, 373 U.S. 262. Now, if a citizen exercises their basic right in any law of any state is to the contrary of such exercise of the basic right, the said supposed law of any state is a fiction of law and 100% totally unconstitutional, and no citizen is required to obey such unconstitutional law or license requirement. Please see Mayberry versus Madison, 5 U.S. 137, 1803, which has never been overturned in over 194 years. Now, further, if a citizen relies on the decision of the United States Supreme Court that a citizen has a perfect defense to the element of willfulness, and since the burden of proof in said willfulness is on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, said task or burden being totally impossible to specifically perform, there is no cause of action for which relief may be granted by the court of law. Please see U.S. versus Bishop, 412 U.S. 346. The payment for a privilege requires a benefit to be received as a right to travel is already secured. It is clearly unlawful to say any charge without direct damage to Pacific Party, which would be you, the one that got pulled over. Nor may a citizen be charged with an offense for the exercise of a constitutional right. In this case, the right to travel. Please see Miller versus United States 230 F2D 486, which is a federal case. Nor may a citizen be denied due process of the law or equal protection of that law. Remember, equal protection of the law. You have every equal opportunity and every equal protection as the next person on those constitutional rights in the United States Supreme Court rulings. Okay. The undersigned has never willingly and knowingly entered into any contract or contractual agreement giving up any constitutional rights which are secured by the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. This common law citizen has not harmed any party, has not threatened or caused any endangerment to the safety or well-being of any party, and would leave any claimant otherwise to their strictest proof otherwise in the court of law. The above named citizen is merely exercising a basic right to do. Please see Zobel versus Williams, 457 U.S. 55, another United States Supreme Court ruling. Held the right to travel as a constitutional right. The most sacred of liberties of which Justice Tolman spoke was personal liberty. The definition of personal liberty is this, and this is the backbone of everything, peeps, okay? Personal liberty, or the right to enjoyment of life in liberty, which is your constitutional right, is one of the fundamental or natural rights which has been protected by its inclusion as a guarantee in the various constitutions, which is not deprived from or dependent on the U.S. Constitution. Or dependent on, comma, the U.S. Constitution, which may not be submitted to a vote and may not depend on the outcome of an election. It is one of the most sacred and valuable rights, as sacred as the right to private property, and its regard as inalienable. 16 CJS Constitutional Law, Section 202, page 587. Okay, folks, my wife is coming out. She don't